If you are using Acumatica, you are probably familiar with generic inquiries, which allow you to extract specific defined data that you need to analyze. Here is an example of a generic inquiry that I have in my Acumatica instance that is set up to show me all of my customer invoices and memos. While it is nice to be able to view this data in Acumatica, I really just want to use Velixo to get the data into Excel for analysis. On this worksheet, I use the generic inquiry Velixo function to bring in my customer invoices through the AR invoices and memos inquiry set up in Acumatica. This full inquiry would bring in quite a lot of records, so I use the generic inquiry filter function to specify that I only want to see the open invoices from the product's wholesale branch. Depending on the generic inquiry you are working with and the filters you define, you might end up with a lot of data in your spreadsheet. This would be a great use case for a pivot table, which allows you to summarize and analyze your data. To make it easy to build my pivot table, I'll start by clicking on the function and entering a name in Excel's name box. In this scenario, I would like to build a pivot table on this tab that shows the open invoice data, but by customer total. To begin, select the Insert tab in the Excel ribbon and then click on Pivot Table. First, we need to select the table or range of data we want to use. After typing in the name I gave the generic inquiry data, it is important to highlight one crucial step I must also include in the range field. To allow the area to expand when more data comes in from the database when we refresh a report, I need to type a hash or number sign after the named range. I selected a specific location for the pivot table, but I could also click here to create it on a new worksheet. After I click OK, we can start building our table. The fields here are taken from the column headings that we selected in the range from the generic inquiry. We now need to select which fields we wish to use in our pivot table. For this table, I will select customer name for the rows, type for the columns, and then balance for the value. We now have a great summary view of our data. If you wish to filter down the data further, you can select the row or column labels on the pivot table and deselect any items you do not want to see. Once you have your pivot table, you can reorder your columns just like you can on a regular Excel table. From here, I can take advantage of additional Excel functionality, such as changing the column format to show the results in dollars, or by inserting a chart from my pivot table. If you would like to know more about the generic inquiry functions referenced in this video, go to help.velixo.com for additional videos, help documentation, and sample reports.